Hi guys, so before we start the video again, just a quick spoiler alert for last night's episode of Gotham, and also probably season 2, episode 1 and 2 maybe, and possibly some of season 1 as well. In fact, I pretty will this episode because I've got a little bit to talk about. So yeah, this video hopefully will be a bit shorter than the other ones because there's less to talk about over less than I'm writing up my notes. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe after you've watched the video. Okay then, so Gotham, season 2 episode 3 aired in the UK last night. It was called The Last Laugh. Now I'm actually going to come back to the title in a bit. I can see why it's called The Last Laugh, but I will come back to it in a bit because I don't want to kind of talk about it now because there's a bit more. I'm going to speak about it when it's relevant a bit later on in the review. So my 5-word review this week, I've actually got the 5 words, and my 5 words are, it just keeps getting better. Now, you might be wondering how it can get any better than what it did last week if you watched last week's episode. The reason why it keeps getting better is just because the serialization of the series, it just seems to be a lot more easy flowing. They feel a lot more into an episode because they don't have to cram everything in. So it seems that the storylines are a lot longer, even though there's a lot going on, but there just seems to, it's just really good. I love the serialization now, and I was a bit skeptical at the beginning, but I really like it now. So that's good. Yeah, so we're going to go back through in characters again, obviously, like we normally do. So starting off with the heroes again, or the good people. So obviously first character we always look at is Jim Gordon. Now Jim Gordon this week was fantastic, as always. He was really good last week, but I'm so glad that he's alright following the attack on the GCPD and him getting beaten up by Aaron. I'm really glad that he's alright still, so that's good. I'm really pleased that he was able to take control of the GCPD this week, even though he's not commissioner yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be soon that we start seeing his rise through the ranks of just detective to commissioner. So hopefully they either might start that this season, or if we get a season 3 they might do it in that. And it was a really good, I thought his interception of the magic show at the Children's Hospital Charity Gala was really good. It was really exciting watching him intercept and kind of save the day, even though it was Bruce that saved the day, but I'll come back to that in a bit. But everyone reviewed the GCPD as the saviour of the day. Yeah, so that was Jim Gordon. Harvey Bullock. Now, I'm so glad that he's back on the force, but I still don't think he's got enough character time. There was not enough for him this week to do. Although his confrontation with Penguin was really good. I mean, Penguin's back, which is good, but I'll come back again to him. The confrontation between Penguin and Bullock was really good. And Bullock hasn't quite forgiven, or won't, I don't think he's going to forgive Penguin anytime soon for killing Fish at the end of season 1. So I think that's still hanging over their relationship, even though Jim and Penguin have got a kind of friendship, or half friendship, you know, I'll do you a favour, you do me a favour kind of thing going on, but Harvey's not willing to accept that yet because he's still upset about Fish. So yeah, that's Bullock. I'm actually going to add Leslie into this Heroes now because I feel like she needs a separate character now. We need to create a new character for her. So Leslie Tompkins. Now she has been brilliant so far this season. I've really enjoyed watching the actress who plays her because she's, I think, taking it from season 1 where she was quite guilty, or not guilty, sorry, she was quite weak. She was quite, you know, people could rule over her quite easily. And now she's suddenly she's become a lot more braver, she's become a lot more confident in herself as an actor, as a character, I feel, and she's just taking that character to new levels each week. And we're starting to see, you know, the love between her and Jim is so beautiful together. They're really good, and I think it's growing week by week. And we're starting to see that yes, this could be his lifelong partner, and it's really lovely to see that because both of them deserve happiness really after the last few weeks. I really like her involvement in the magic show. The fact that she alerted the police that Jerome and Barbara are actually the magician and his assistant. I'll come back to them as well. But I really did fear for her life when Barbara and Jerome put her on the knife throwing machine, and Barbara started spinning her around. And I absolutely hated Barbara for that, but I'm so glad that Leslie is still alive, because if she wasn't alive, it would be quite upsetting. Okay, so on to the final heroes, or the final good people of this week, Bruce and Alfred. Now, Bruce and Alfred this week got some really good moments. Bruce was at the magic show, and he took part in the magic show because Jerome asked him to. And he couldn't really say no because they didn't know it was Jerome and Barbara at that point. So he took part and he really loved it, I think, and it gave him a kind of self-confidence to get up on the stage and just kind of take part in something that was good for charity. And his parents were donators to the hospital, and so that makes kind of him as well a donator, I suppose. So yeah, I really did fear for his life though when Jerome held a knife against his throat, and but obviously Bruce had saved the day because Bruce gave Alfred the gun that he'd hidden in his tuxedo pocket, which was really good to see, and Alfred managed to save the day along with Bruce and Jim Gordon. So effectively it was Bruce that saved everyone in the gala, not Jim Gordon. So I loved Bruce's reunion with Cillian and Kyle as well in this episode. It was really nice to see them two working together again, and I just really liked seeing them together. They're so cute together. It's a really nice coupling. I think if we have some more scenes with them together, it won't be kind of something missing, I think, anymore if we get some more scenes with them. Watching Alfred chat up Leslie was hilarious. And it was even funnier when Alfred realised that actually she was with Jim, and Bruce knew all along. So they would it was just funny watching Alfred realised that Bruce had known all along, and he'd just been laughing at him almost. It was just really funny for the audience, I think, to watch. I really enjoyed watching it. I just think they've got such a good relationship together, and it's just really good that they can have this relationship. But this relationship's kind of developed out of obviously the tragic events of season 1 with Bruce's parents getting murdered. But I think it's growing more and more each week, and it's really lovely to see. Just like Jim and Leslie's relationship in a way, but obviously it's more love than Alfred is more of a father figure to Bruce. But yeah, it's still really good. On to the villains then. So we're going to start with the person who I deemed to be the main villain of this episode, or this series so far, the season so far. So Jerome. Now, Jerome is brilliant as a character. He's brilliant as an actor. Cameron Mannigan, I think his name is. He was brilliant killing his dad. Now, that sounds a bit mean and manic, I know, saying that he was brilliant killing his dad, but the way he did it was so brilliant. And his dad, you might remember if you watched season 1, episode 19, episode 16 even, the blind fortune teller. His dad is the blind fortune teller, Mr. Cicero. So he went to his dad, and he basically just framed his dad for breaking the maniacs out of Arkham. But before killing him, by stabbing him through the eye, which was quite horrible. Obviously he's blind, so he didn't really see it coming, pun intended. So yeah, and then he set the gas trap that actually knocked out Harvey and Jim Gordon, sorry. And I really thought he was going to kill Jim when he had a gun to his head, but then Tabitha stopped him, which was really good. And I just found him brilliant in the magic show because he was menacing, but he was also entertaining. And I really liked the fact that when they were they'd locked up when they captured Leslie and put her on the knife throwing wheel, that they broadcast it live on Gotham, on the Gotham News, so that it was broadcast live on Gotham television, so that Jim could see it outside the hospital, what's taking place inside. But I was really sad actually that he was killed by Theo Galavan, because I just love him as a character, and I really hoped we'd see more of him. It's a bit like Fish Mooney, but even less airtime. She was a premature death, and I think Jerome is his death is so premature, it's really annoying. But at the end of the day, we had to have something give in this storyline, and I think Jerome is probably the best option because we need Barbara carrying on, because Barbara's manipulation is brilliant. So yeah, let's move on to Barbara. So Barbara, oh hang on, no, we're not going to move on to Barbara yet. We're going to backtrack a little bit. Sorry. So the title. So the title, part 2. This is so the title part 2. The last laugh, obviously, I assume it's titled because it was Jerome's last laugh last night, and obviously he's known for his laugh. So yeah, obviously we thought he was going to be the Joker, or I personally thought he was going to be the Joker. I take it he's not the Joker, which is just confusing the hell out of me. I don't really know what's going on anymore. I thought I was going to be able to shed some more light for you guys, but actually, I don't know what's going on myself, so I can't shed any more light, but I'm really enjoying whatever's going on. So yeah, right, now we're going on to Barbara. So Barbara, as a character, is really good. She's doing really well. She just gets more evil every episode, I think. She's just so menacing. And I just can't believe that she's back at her lesbian thing again. But this time with Tabitha. So it's the first season, it was Montoya. Now she's back at it, and almost the first scene we saw with Barbara, she's kissing Tabitha. What's going on there? That came out of nowhere. But, you know, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be a good storyline. And I like her involvement in the magic show as the glamorous assistant. And I think she was really good at that. She was quite menacing, but quite kind of lovely at the same time. And I hate her, obviously, as I said, for what she did to Leslie. But her magic disappearance when Jim ran to get her was both annoying, but also I'm thrilled at it. Because it means she escapes and she lives to kind of, you know, appear in another episode, which would be really good. So as I keep saying every episode with her, what is she going to do next? I don't know. Please comment in the comments if you think you know what's going to happen next. Don't comment if you know what's going to happen next if you watch past S02E03, but just comment, guys. You know, contemplate with me. Think of some theories. What's going to happen? I honestly don't know. Let's hope that that we'll find out next week what's going to happen with her. Okay, so finally then, so finally for the main villains of this episode, Theo and Tabitha Gallivan. So Theo's plan to rule Gotham, I think, is coming along nicely. It's probably one of the most successful takeover plans we've seen in a long time in Gotham, other than Penguins. And I think he playing the part of the good guy by killing Jerome was really good, because it means he's got the Gotham citizens on his side before he completely wipes them out or takes over them, really, takes over control of Gotham. And the fact that he's encouraging Barbara to become evil, even more evil, is so good. I think he's doing really well at encouraging Barbara to travel down that road almost. So yeah, I really like that. As I say, Tabitha kissing Barbara was interesting, and then she accompanied Jerome to his father's. I thought that was a bit pointless, to be honest. She wasn't really much help in that scene. She just kind of moaned all the time she was there, and actually her presence in the entire episode was a bit pointless, because I just felt she didn't have a lot to do. She was essentially Theo's messenger, so I felt that was a bit of a pointless venture for her. So on to the kind of minor villains then in this one, or not minor, but they're slightly less in it. Selena Kyle, I was glad she was back this episode. Really liked the fact that she had a bit more of a role this week rather than the 3 lines that she managed in episode 1. And the fact that she saved Bruce was really nice, but then Bruce obviously had to go back to Alfred because he felt like he couldn't leave her. But I really hope she continues throughout the rest of the season and we see more and more of her, even just consistently, like we saw last night. Even if she gets a consistent role to that length, it'd be fine, I think. We just need to see a bit more of her. And then finally Penguin. So I'm glad that he's back as well. He was in it obviously with Harvey Bullock last night, and they had that little bit of a face-off, but he wasn't in it enough for my liking. So I just think that he needs to be in it a bit more for it to be truly satisfying. But it was quite satisfying seeing him back on his throne. So yeah, I just hope he gets more of a part next week. So I'm sad as well. Obviously last week I told you about Essen dying. I'm sad that she's dead and her absence is being felt already, I feel, in the GCPD, because I haven't really got a leader to look to. And the fact that I think it's 7 of their fellow police officers were murdered last week in the raid and the GCPD by the maniacs. So yeah, I'm really sad that she's gone. Now Lucius Fox and Nigma were also, Edward Nigma, were also absent this week. Now Lucius Fox, I can understand his absence because they weren't at Wayne Manor at all, so he's supposed to be fixing the computer at Wayne Manor. So if Bruce and Alfred aren't there, then I assume he can't be in it either. And Nigma was quite upset that he disappeared, to be honest, because storyline was coming along so well, despite only being in a little bit each episode, but his storyline was coming along really well. But I assume as well, because they weren't at the GCPD building much, they were actually mainly at this charity gala, which was really good, because it allowed them more time on that, which gave Jerome kind of his final send-off. But he got a lot of screen time this week, which I'm so glad with, because I really like him. Okay, so I'm really hoping that Nigma is back next week, by the way, as well, before I just go into the overall conclusion. So my overall conclusion this week, I was so speechless last night when the episode finished. I could barely understand I couldn't understand what had gone on, but I'm really loving it. As I said earlier, I'm really loving what's going on, and I'm so excited for next week's episode because I just cannot wait to see where we go next. What's going to happen, guys? I have no idea. If I knew, I would share that with you guys, but I just don't know what's going to happen. In my head is running around with ideas. I'm running wild with ideas, to be honest, of what could happen next. My overall rating then for the episode this week is 9 out of 10. So the same as last week's episode. You might be wondering why we're not stepping up, as if I thought it was this good. If I thought it was even better than last week's episode. Now, the reason why I'm not putting it up to a 10 is because Penguin, as I say, and Selena Kyle are not in it enough for my liking, and Nigma and Lucius were absent. Now, I don't mind about Lucius so much, but Nigma, I just really want to see more of him. So yeah, I'm just really hoping we get more of that. So thanks guys very much for watching. That was my episode review for Season 2, Episode 3, The Last Laugh. Really hope you've enjoyed watching it. As I say, guys, please don't post spoilers in the comments because I really don't want to know what happens. I just want to be shocked like I was last night. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you all probably Sunday for my next top 5 video. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Bye.